So today, a nice little silicon coupler arrived in the mail, which means I can get this thing here to make some boost again. If you weren't watching a couple videos ago, this thing stopped making boost, and let me show you why. So this might be a bit hard for you guys to see, but there's a huge split in the silicon 90-degree coupler here. You can see my fingers in there going to the top of the turbo. And I think the main reason for that is it's so close to the exhaust manifold, it heats up a lot, plus the hose clamp being really, really tight, it probably just took a bit and split. Now, I've been running that for about 2 years now, no issues, but I definitely should have probably wrapped it in this to help prevent it from getting destroyed by any heat. So we'll be doing that with the new one. As well, I think this pipe moves a fair bit when I'm accelerating, dumping the clutch and stuff, and I think what that actually does is it kind of causes the silicon to blow out a bit, and it was touching the exhaust manifold shield. So what I'm going to do is try to also secure this a bit more by pushing this in this silicon coupler down here more to move it over a bit, and hopefully that'll prevent it. So I'm hoping I don't have to take this top stuff off and that I can just get to everything and slide it out from there. I may have to just unclip the power steering reservoir and let that lie down here. These things just kind of clip and slide out, so we might do that. Anyways, enough talking, let's get this done. All finished, and the Skyline's going to be ready to make boost in no time. You can see I've got that heat shielding wrapped around the silicon there. It's a bit hard to see, but I've got it wrapped around there, and then the hose clamp goes around the outside of that, so that'll hold it in place and stop it from falling off, because I doubt that that sticky sided tape is going to stick to the silicon much for very long periods of time. And then that's going to stop direct heat coming off the exhaust manifold and that shielding there onto the silicon, so that should help it a lot. Also, I kind of like made it so that the silicon 90-degree elbow down here goes down, and the hose clamps on the other side. Also put a little bit of a protector, like wire shielding around there to stop that rubbing from damaging the silicon coupler. And now you can see that there's actually a pretty decent gap between these two pipings here, so that's going to stop like any flexing that they were rubbing against each other and causing the silicon to kind of bow out and touch that. So should be good now, I think. Also, I had to replace this silicon line here going to my boost actuator. The old one had actually broken off. So I've ordered some more of this really nice black silicon hosing to replace this little blue one here that's a bit too short. And what I'll also do to just protect it from some heat is I'll put it inside this heat shielding tubing stuff once that new black stuff arrives, which will probably arrive tomorrow. Amazon's pretty good over here. I think we should be good. So this thing should be good to rip now. Now we have a few things to do today. My goal is to get to Yashio Factory today, but before then I need to go to the police station and get a bunch of paperwork so that we can register the S15 on Friday. It's pretty much called like the Shaken Shiome application, and a Shaken Shiome is essentially like a permission slip from the police station and your real estate agent that you have evidence and proof that you have a car park within a 2-kilometer radius of your living residence that you can park your car in that you're about to register. It's a nightmare, and it's something that I hate because it's nothing that I've ever dealt with before in Australia. They don't even check that, they don't care, they just assume you have a car park for it. But in Japan, because you know they don't want cars just everywhere and you know overpopulation of them kind of thing, I guess, that's a thing here. So we're gonna go do that, go visit the police station, which is kind of weird because I hate the police station after losing my license. I went back and forth so many times for all that jargon. Anyways, I'm talking too much, so let's go and rip this thing and get a nice Starbucks coffee. That sounds about right. I forgot to show you guys this split. It doesn't actually look like it was caused by heat. I don't know, it's kind of weird. It's like it was sliced. Maybe the hose clamp was too tight, but the hose clamp was on this line down here. So I think maybe what's happening is when the engine's like under torque and load and stuff, and when it like twists like that, I think the side of the turbo was just cutting into the silicon coupler like that. And I think that's what caused it to split, because the shape of the split is like the top of the turbo outlet. So maybe an engine mount's gone or something, or I need to get a torque dampener for the engine to stop it moving so much, or some harder engine mounts. But I'll monitor it and see how we go.
I think it shouldn't be too much of an issue now, but I mean, we'll have to keep an eye on it and see what's going on. Anyways, let's go for a rip.
Grande size のカラメルマキアートアイスでショットスーカーお願いします。グランデサイズのカラメルマキアート。はい。Drink my precious. It's pretty sketchy parking at a police station. There's a Sentry over there. Toyota's only ever V12 in production. Oh boy. The coppers are here in their vans too. All right, let's head inside and get this Shaken Shiome application sorted. Well, that was super easy. Literally wasn't in there for a minute, and we got all the pages for the Shaken Shiome application. This thing is seriously a huge pain in the butt. There's like 15 pages here that all need to be filled out. Oko-chan's gonna help me with this, and this is the first step to being able to register the car and put it under my name. The second thing is we need like a special certificate that's stamped by the seal kind of thing of the real estate agent that we're getting the car spot from, that says that they officially have a car spot that they'll be renting, that we'll be renting from them for the car. And then that gets put with this and plus a bunch of other paperwork. Japan really is, I don't really know how to describe it, but they really like their paperwork. I swear they want a piece of, they would love you to fill out a piece of paper just for going to the bathroom every time if they could. And trust me, they would. They love their paperwork here. Anyways, we're gonna head to Yashio Factory now, give this to Oko-chan and hang out with him for a bit. At the same time, I'm going to be doing some logging on the ECU because I'm going to be using that log to set up open loop boost control. Right now, closed loop is switched on, which really sucks because when it's a colder day and the air is denser, my boost is higher than what I want it to be because still factory head studs, factory head gasket, so I don't want to go above 1.1 bar. And when the air's denser from a colder day, it's winter or whatever, then my boost starts creeping up and I have to manually change the wastegate duty cycle every time with the computer, which sucks. So open loop will mean that I'll put in a whole bunch of parameters and things like that where it'll know the temperature and work all of that out and calculate it and always keep it at 1.1. It's essentially like giving the ECU more control over controlling the wastegate actuator. So yeah, it should make things a lot easier for me in the sense of I don't have to keep popping out the laptop because it's an extra hot day and I'm not getting full boost, or you know what I mean? Like it's just frustrating. So open loop boost control is what we're going to be getting set up on this thing. But for now, I've been talking a lot about the Shaken Shiome junk. Seriously, living in Japan is amazing except for all the paperwork. Trust me, any one of you guys that's lived in Japan or lives in Japan, you know exactly what I'm talking about. Anyways, let's get the Yashio Factory. Oh, so good having boost again. What's the lineup today? All S15s, as per usual. And another one there. And another one. And another one. All right, let's go park and see what's up. So I've said this before, but before you visit the SR God, you need to bring him a sacrifice, and that involves jasmine tea from 7-Eleven. Always jasmine tea is his favorite. So we're gonna head inside, give him the paperwork, give him the jasmine tea. I can't even speak right now. Oh man, I'm so pumped. Ooh, there she is on the ground. Shaken on Friday. They're getting this thing all finished up now too. Can't wait to see that. All right, so it's time to get to work on the S15 right away, and we've got a bunch of little things to get done so that we can get this thing passing Shaken on Friday. The first thing that I've already actually done is I took these dangerous objects that were wedged into all the aircon vents and where the old airbag used to be on the dash. I actually have no idea what the previous owner was thinking. He was drifting with this and competing, and he for some reason didn't think that these would be dangerous flying objects if ever he got into a crash. He had them wedged into all the AC vents and they were loosely just held in there with double-sided tape. If you got into a decent enough wreck, these would have probably been flying discs of danger in there, and I don't know. Anyways, took that all out. The dash doesn't have any vents in there at all for the aircon, but the aircon is working and gassed up now. No leaks, which is awesome. But obviously the air is just kind of getting dumped in here with the fan with no vents in there. And this whole dash is going to be getting pulled out and replaced when we put the cage in, but we're going to be getting Shaken and everything sorted out first before the cage goes in. So it just makes life easier. We also got the rear seats in there, and Fukuzawa-san's been like really busy doing all these little kind of things like this, putting in the water sprayers on the hood and stuff, getting the pins all lined up and working well.
it's really starting to come together. I'm gonna work on the side indicators next. So we got a set here of Nismo ones. We got the things here from Nissan. We don't have the plugs to go on here, but we're gonna put the wires in there and then resin them in so that then they'll work, and they'll obviously go in here on the side. So first bit of Nismo parts I'm putting on the car. It's kind of exciting, right? So yeah, we're gonna get started, get as many things as we can sorted out so that, and this thing will pass shuck in. We also need to change the rear wheels. We spoke about that last video. So go down to like some 9s or something to tuck that rim in, no poke. And then we should be good to get this thing registered on Friday. I'm pumped. So what I've gone and done is got these 2 wires over the pins down there, and then we're just gonna fill this up with hot glue resin. Then she's pretty much just as good as a Nissan plug being in there. Well, not exactly, but it gets the job done, you know. Lots of people do this as well with like TPS plugs and things like that. When you're missing plugs, it works just as well. And I mean, who really cares? It's just an indicator, right? So we're gonna let that dry, kind of hold it in the center there in place so that the glue kind of gets around. And then once it dries, we're all done. I just finished with the indicators, and look at that, baby. We got working indicators, both sides. It's pretty sick. I'm happy about that. It was a bit of fun getting those wires in there. I also noticed that Fukasawa-san changed out to factory taillights, which look so much better than these. Seriously, I hate that style. The factory ones look 1,000 times better than those things. Also, they've got the reflectors built into them, which you need for shuck ends. So you can't get shuck in with those clear ones. You have to actually have a special reflector there. Anyways, so that's another little bit of little things, like little pain in the ass, annoying things that you need to get done for shuck end. I'm really also looking forward to changing these headlights out to ones with black in the inside. I mean, I may even try and open these and paint them myself back to black, because it looks so much better. The original Silvia logo there would be kind of cool too. Mine don't even have that anymore. The guy probably just painted over them, which is why it kind of sucks. I want OEM ones before they get too expensive, so maybe I should try and buy them. But these ones here, these don't have the Silvia logo in there. Have these been opened before? Maybe they have. Yeah, they have. You can see they've been opened before. Bummer. Yeah, I'd like to get some OEM ones that have the original Silvia logo in there. That'd be kind of cool. I'm a little bit OCD with things like that, so we'll hunt around, see if we can find a good pair for secondhand. Otherwise, we'll try and just buy brand new ones. But we can do that later. For now, we got the indicators in. We can get shuck in, and then after that, it's then off to the body shop, and I'll probably get it back in like a month or so. But we'll get to film some of the bodywork happening to this too, which is going to be sick. So anyways, for now, I'm going to see what else we need to get done. Oh, we should test the aircon. That's a good thing to check. Oka-chan's just checking over the car right now. We got the winkers working. Well, blinkers. They say winker in Japanese for blinkers, which is like a British thing, right? Not, I guess in America they'd say indicator, right? Well, we say both, indicator, blinker. Checking the aircon now. Let's see. Oh, it's turning on. This before it had an error and wouldn't even come on at all. That's good. All the cold air's just blowing out at my feet, which is fine. It's working like instantly right away, which is good. I'm gonna shut that off now. And this is like some weird, weird tape player deck thing. Welcome. I think this is like an old mini disc player. That's kind of cool. Very cool. Anyways, so that works, although I don't think we want that. We'll replace that later on, I'm sure. I'm not sure what these buttons will do. This is for like the old school. Oh, that's so cool. Oka-chan's face lights up. So that's like a little, come on, G7X, please focus. Please focus on it for me. Okay, yeah, so see how it's a little picture of Oka-chan, right? Please focus better. And when you turn the switch on, it lights up. That's so freaking cool. I'm gonna try and keep that. So this is a water sprayer thing, and it ties in and connects in with this. This is what the extra wires are for on the old V1 water temp meter. And once it reaches a certain temperature, this triggers this to spray water from the tank in the back all the way through the engine bay on the intercooler and the radiator. So it's kind of a little bit of cool old tech. So I'm thinking of keeping it just for the nostalgic effect. This is pretty cool, and obviously the HKS EVC controllers here. And this thing is also part of the EVC controller, I think. But for some reason he cut like a square in the dash here to fit that in, which is kind of silly in my opinion. But anyways, she runs. I'm so happy. Everything works in here now. Lights work.
Oh boy, we're getting close, guys. Street registered later on this week. Hopefully things go well from here. All right, so there's not much left to do on the S15 for Shaken on Friday, and we've been crazy busy. Oka-chan's going to Osaka tomorrow to go hang out with Naoki and take him an engine and stuff, so I had to help him pack the truck and get the engine on the truck. So kind of the rest of the time he has been ridden off and we've been sorting out the paperwork and everything like that. So we got a lot done today though. We got the Skyline running and boosting again, which is epic. Got the winkers, well sorry, the blinkers or the indicators installed in the side panel. Checked over everything on the car. I'm pretty happy with where the Silvia's at right now, and I think the next stage is literally cage, interior, dash, all the venting systems and stuff, and getting everything sorted out, looking pretty on the interior. That's after Shaken. And then bodywork and paint, and then maybe vinyl wrap stuff. There's a lot of cool things happening, but we're kind of at a standstill with this until it gets registered to do the cage and everything else. Oh, look at this thing rolling in. I've also been talking to Oka-chan, and he recommends that we don't put the big over fenders and the like canards, or I guess you'd call these canards, or more aero, whatever. We're not going to put any of that on until after I've gotten a really good hang of this car, because I'm gonna break all of that very quickly if I come off track. So he just recommends keep it as it is now, body kit wise. We'll put the rest of the over fenders on later. Good night, Yashio Factory. Love that place so much. So awesome hanging out with the guys. All right, we're gonna head home, try and get home around like 8:30 if we're lucky. Got a bunch of paperwork to do with for May, and then I think we're good to roll. Today was an awesome day. We got a bunch of stuff done, and the S15 is just that little bit closer to getting registered this weekend. Tomorrow I'm probably going to go back to Yashio Factory, sort out the rear wheels, make sure that's all sorted, and just go over everything and make sure we're all good for Friday, because I definitely want to make sure we get that thing registered as soon as possible with plates, because then we can start driving it and really just like testing it out, making sure everything's all good and sorting out any gremlins or anything like that, so that then when we go and do a shakedown, because if all things go according to play, I could be drifting it next week. So yeah, I'm pumped. Anyways guys, tell me what you thought in the comment section of this video, and I will catch you all in the next one. Don't forget to like, comment, share and subscribe. Peace out. Jamata.